nation's commercial capital. This is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Melinda Akilami.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, worshippers abducted during a church attack in Eda Oniyo community of Ekiti State regained freedom after more than 2 months in captivity. Police in Edo State arrest 45 suspects and rescue 38 abducted victims as part of sustained operations targeting criminal elements. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Waidi Shoibu reaffirms Army's commitment to the welfare of personnel. And United States marks 250th independence anniversary as heat wave disrupts celebration.
On sports news tonight, Morocco's Atlas Lions secure passage to the quarterfinals of the 2026 World Cup with a well-deserved 3-0 victory over co-host Canada.
We begin in Ekiti State, where there's a sigh of relief for residents of Eda Oniyo as worshippers abducted from a local church in April have finally regained their freedom. The victims were immediately rushed to the Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital in Ado Ekiti for medical evaluation. Community leaders have expressed deep gratitude, celebrating a safe return that many have desperately prayed for.
It's cheering news as the Ekiti State Police confirmed the rescue of worshippers who were kidnapped during an attack on a Christ Apostolic Church crusade in Eda Oniyo Ekiti, Ileje-Meje local government area. The victims regained their freedom in the early hours of Saturday after spending more than 2 months in captivity. As of the time of this report, the freed victims were currently receiving treatment at the Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital, Ado Ekiti, at the expense of the state government. Reacting to the development, Chairman of Ileje-Meje local government area, Pius Dada, describes the victims' release as a moment of relief, while expressing sadness over the death of one of the adoptees during the ordeal.
We are so happy, but today I'm happy and I'm sad because I'm happy in the sense that we see our people back home, but I'm sad because of someone we lost out of them. We took a security meeting. We have sensitized our people to take a security conscious, and in the church we give them 4 o'clock. All the churches and the mosques must be closed before 4 o'clock.
Also speaking, a community representative and former Ekiti State Commissioner, Rufus Ajayi, expresses gratitude to God for the safe release of the worshippers. He revealed that members of the community had to borrow money to raise 25.5 million naira to secure the victims' freedom despite the tragic loss of one of the captives.
We pray, we fasted, and God answered our prayer to redeem them, the stone heart of the kidnappers. God Almighty to turn it so that whenever to release these people, and because the money they were expecting from us, there's no how that we could see it. That whatever we have, that they will take it from us and release our people. And God did it.
Both men, however, backed the Ekiti State government's decision not to participate in the ransom payment, saying any direct government involvement could have encouraged kidnappers to target the state more frequently. The kidnappers had reportedly demanded an initial ransom of 1 billion naira, which was later reduced to 50 million naira. Although the community eventually raised and paid 10.5 million naira, along with other items demanded by the abductors, the victims remained in captivity, sparking protests by residents who had called for their immediate rescue. The worshippers were kidnapped on April 28, 2026, when heavily armed gunmen stormed the church during an evening crusade in Eda Onio, a border community between Ekiti and Kwara states. Their eventual release has now brought relief to their families and the entire Eda Onio community.
As part of sustained operations targeting criminal elements, the Edo State Police Command has arrested 48 suspects and rescued 38 victims. The Commissioner of Police, Monday Abonika, disclosed this during the command's media briefing in Benin City, noting that intelligence-led operations and stronger collaboration with other security operatives have continued to deliver results. He commended residents for their support with assurances that the command will sustain aggressive operations and strengthen community policing.
Within the period under review, a total of 45 suspects of violent crimes were arrested. This includes 32 suspected kidnappers, 15 suspected cultists, 3 suspects suspected for armed robbery, and 11 murder suspects. 2 suspects for unlawful possession of firearms and 14 other suspects involved in rape and sexual and gender-based violence, including defilement cases. In addition, we have successfully rescued 38 kidnapped victims through intelligence-led operations and coordinated tactical responses across the state. These achievements underscore our unwavering resolve to rid Edo State of criminal elements and demonstrates that the command remains proactive, responsive, and relentless in confronting every form of violent crime. As we continue to fight against criminality, I want to sincerely thank the decent people and law-abiding citizens of Edo State for their continuing cooperation and faith in the police. The timely information, intelligence, and assistance we receive from members of the public remain crucial to our operational accomplishments. Security is a shared responsibility, and your collaboration continues to make the difference.
Staying with security matters now, a joint social-cultural organization in Benue State has condemned the killing of the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association's chairman in Benue State. The group appealed to security agencies to scale up surveillance across Benue communities to prevent reprisal attacks. The leader of the group, Air Commodore Abecha Titus, made the call at a briefing in Makodi, stressing the need for a thorough investigation by the police.
I unequivocally condemned the killing of the chairman and any other innocent person involved in the crisis. Secondly, I extend my heartfelt condolences to Magban community as well as the immediate family of the late chairman. However, we are deeply concerned by attempts in some quarters attributing these criminal acts of irresponsibility to the team nation without any credible evidence. We utterly reject any attempt to criminalize any tribe, any ethnic group by action of unknown criminals. On the basis of the foregoing, we call on security agencies to conduct a thorough and transparent investigations into the killing of the chairman.
So other issues now. The federal government has demanded an explanation from Côte d'Ivoire regarding the death of 24-year-old Nigerian Osama Murtala, who died after months in detention. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, issued the demand while meeting with the Ivorian ambassador, Kalilu Taure, in the nation's capital, Abuja. She called for a full investigation, family compensation, and the return of belongings seized from 6 Nigerian traders arrested in Abidjan in 2024. Mr. Murtala died in custody, while the other 5 traders were recently released following diplomatic intervention. In response, Ambassador Touare pledged to convey Nigeria's concerns and demands to his government. As cases of child abuse continue to generate concern in Imo State, stakeholders are intensifying efforts to raise awareness and enlighten the public on the need to protect children. A coalition of civil society organizations, professional bodies, and security operatives have embarked on a solidarity walk in Owerri to draw attention to the menace and mobilize collective action to curb child abuse. Our correspondent, Eyitokwe Kutei, has this report.
Members of the Nigerian Bar Association, Nigerian Medical Association, and the Imo State Police Command, in collaboration with the Stand for Humanity Foundation, take to the streets of Owerri, the Imo State capital, carrying placards and chanting against child abuse. The awareness walk, which began at the Dan Anyam Stadium, moves through Wedre Road to the Government House roundabout, draws attention to the growing menace.
Most times in organizations, we come in when the deed has been done. When children, minors, have been defied, have been molested, have been abused, and that has been going on. In that situation, we collaborate with police. We arrest offenders, we prosecute them, while the victim lives with the trauma all the days of his or her life.
The organizers say this campaign is addressing an alarming rise in child abuse cases they are currently handling, including the firemen.
In the recent past, we have a man of 73 years old who is currently in police detention at the state here in Owerri, who defied a child of 7 years. We have a man of 63 years old from Amata in Ekiti local government area of Imo State, who serially defied a child of 12 years. He has been reminded in the Owerri Correctional Center.
We are here today to carry out this enlightenment campaign, to let people know that the police is accessible, to encourage survivors, to encourage members of the public to always make sure that they report perpetrators.
It could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be sexual, even it could be negligence. So when you deliberately decide not to fund a child, maybe school fees, school uniform, and and all these things, they bring down the being of the child.
This initiative is a direct socio-cultural response to a broad spectrum of ideas that exist out there as regards to child abuse. In other words, anything that impedes on the welfare of a child, whether by your action or inaction, is a form of child abuse.
Beyond this awareness walk, organizers say the campaign is aimed at changing attitude and encouraging prompt reporting of child abuse cases, and also strengthening community vigilance to ensure that every child grows up in a safer environment. They say protecting the children requires collective responsibility, and every child deserves protection and justice. From Owerri, the Imo State capital, Eyitokwe Kutei, Channels Television News.
In part 2, after the break, Vice President Kashim Shettima inaugurates 6,000 metric ton per day lithium processing plant in Nasarawa State. That's in a moment. Join us again. Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Worshippers abducted during a church attack in Ilejemeje local government area of Ekiti State regained freedom after more than 2 months in captivity. Police in Edo State arrest 45 suspects and rescue 38 abducted victims as part of sustained operations targeting criminal elements. Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shoaibu, reaffirms the Nigerian Army's commitment to the welfare of personnel. And United States marks 250th independence anniversary as heat wave disrupts celebrations. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shoaibu, has reaffirmed the Army's commitment to the welfare of personnel following the commissioning of the affordable home ownership option for all soldiers in Jos, the Plateau State capital. The housing project developed by the Post-Service Housing Development Limited is part of the Army's efforts to provide affordable homes for serving and retired soldiers.
The Chief of Army Staff arrives the affordable home ownership option for all soldiers estate and begins with an inspection of the Guard of Honor. 3596. He then proceeds to commission 4 major projects located within the estate. The projects include newly constructed housing units, renovated residential buildings, a 40-unit shopping complex, rehabilitated waterworks, new road networks, solar street lights, a children's playground, and other infrastructure designed to improve the living conditions of soldiers and their families.
Emphasis here is on affordability. Affordable homes for soldiers. Reassurance for soldiers. Dignity in post-service life.
Addressing the guests, the Army Chief describes the project as a milestone in the Army's welfare program, stating that every soldier deserves a secure home after years of dedicated service.
It is worth emphasizing that welfare remains one of the foundational pillars of my command philosophy. The Nigerian Army can only fulfill its constitutional responsibilities if its personnel are well motivated, properly equipped, and adequately cared for.
He believes that personnel welfare remains a key pillar of his command philosophy, adding that a well-motivated and properly cared-for soldier is essential to the effectiveness of the Nigerian Army.
Affordable home ownership option for all soldiers scheme was established to provide affordable and easily accessible housing opportunity for all our soldiers. Specifically, our goal is to ensure that the years of dedicated service to our nation are rewarded with security and dignity of home ownership.
The Nigerian Army says the housing scheme will continue to expand across the country as part of its long-term strategy to improve the welfare of serving and retired soldiers.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has commissioned a diamond new energy lithium processing plant in Nasarawa State. He described the $250 million project as a major milestone in the country's drive to deepen value addition in the solid mineral sector and accelerate economic diversification. Our correspondent Halima Gayam has this report.
Vice President Kashim Shettima is representing President Bola Tinubu in Endo community of Nasarawa local government area of Nasarawa State for the commissioning of this 6,000 metric tons per day lithium processing plant established by the Diamond New Energy Company. The commissioning ceremony is hosted by Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Mr. Dele Alake, and other dignitaries. The Vice President notes that the commissioning demonstrates Nigeria's readiness to move from the extraction of raw minerals to full local processing and value addition.
What changes a nation is a deliberate movement from extraction to processing, from potential to production, from raw materials to value-added goods, and from isolated investments to integrated industrial ecosystems. That is why this occasion matters. The commissioning of diamond new energy projects here in Nasarawa State represents confidence in Nigeria.
Governor Abdullahi Sule described the project as another testament to Nasarawa State's emergence as Nigeria's leading destination for mining and mineral processing investments.
Today I'm fulfilled. Today I'm proud. I'm unhappy that for those who are looking for industrialization and making a mockery of it, come to Endo and see what industrialization is all about, and it is right here. Let me therefore take the liberty of this occasion to inform our prospective investors in Nasarawa State that Nasarawa State is blessed with abundant natural resources such as lead, zinc, lithium, copper, gemstones, cobalt, gold, marble, iron ore, and barytes, among others. I also ask you to come and join us in order to work towards the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President.
The official commissioning of projects.
The $250 million lithium processing plant is expected to enhance Nigeria's capacity for local mineral processing, strengthen industrial development, and create thousands of direct and indirect employment opportunities across the mining value chain. Halima Agayam, Channels Television News.
To politics now. There are indications that the former governor of Ogun State, Ibikunle Amosun, and the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate, Solomon Adeola, may have settled their political differences as both leaders have expressed readiness to work together for the victory of the party in the state. The development was made known in Abeokuta, the state capital, after a closed-door meeting at the country home of Senator Amosun.
Described as a strategic consultative engagement after years of political acrimony, former Governor Ibikunle Amosun and APC governorship candidate Senator Solomon Adeola appear to have put the past behind them. To many observers, the meeting is part of a broader reconciliation move to reunite aggrieved groups and members of the party ahead of the 2027 general elections.
We don't need to come to seek for my support. Once I've said this is what we are going to do, and since this is our candidate, of course, it owes on all of us to just do our meeting and support our candidate. So, for me, you don't need to say you want to come and seek for my support, seek for my support. No. The support is already. We pray to God Almighty that we will see us through. And that is my prayer. But we need to work to go and do the necessary work.
This is one out of the series of meetings I'm coming to meet my leader. I am here for the first time to call or pay a courtesy call on my leader and to also seek for his understanding and his support, which he has granted. But I'm still coming to pay a scheduled visit where he will be ready to speak to you and speak to the entire press. But today it's been wonderful, as you can see. Everybody is happy, the turnout was okay, and everybody is speaking one same voice, in one common voice, that is victory for our party come 2027.
As part of the consultations, the governorship candidate and his team also visit former President Olusegun Obasanjo at the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library in Abeokuta. Senator Adeola formally presented himself as the APC governorship candidate, while the former president advised on the need for inclusive governance.
No one emerge, govern, lead Ogun State without the involvement of that. So I'm here today as your son, as your own, to come and seek your fatherly blessing, prayers, and also guidance, so that while going from length and breadth of the state, speaking to people, campaigning to people about the future of our state, about our intention to turn around the fortune of our state, about how we can take our state to the next level.
We made the vote of all saints and all the vote. And then, of course, after the election, even those who do not like you before, you must like them if you win, because you need all hands on deck.
Party leaders say the reconciliatory engagements will continue across the state to strengthen APC structures and ensure a united front ahead of the 2027 polls.
In Edo State, the Obedient General Worldwide has held a youth engagement, voter education and interactive dialogue with young Nigerians, including students in Benin City. During the sessions, eligible young people were advised to make use of available windows for voter registration in order to get their PVCs and not allow fear of violence deter them from voting on Election Day. Youth participation, national unity and the future of Nigeria is the focus at this meeting by the Obedient General Worldwide in Benin City, the Edo State capital. At the voter education session, eligible young voters were advised to take advantage of voter registration opportunities to obtain their PVCs.
Democracy works when you participate, and the first step is to register as a voter. If you don't register, you cannot vote. And registering is not just your rights.
Without PVC, you won't be allowed to vote. And make sure you keep it safe until the election day. The deadline has been extended to 10th of July, so make sure you get your PVC.
One of the concerns raised is voter safety on Election Day.
Can you guarantee our safety when we are going to vote? Because I heard that most people are dying through voting, they are killing, and so that. So can we guarantee our safety? Then guarantee our safety as citizens. In every polling unit, we will have our support group members there. That is why we started early. Now in Benin, for example, in the structure of our movement, we don't tell people the kind of structure we have. But I know in Uromi Ward 1, if I want to know in 2 minutes who is the obedient there, I know. Because I will look at my phone, I'll go to Uromi, the support group.
Convener of the program, who explained his decision to switch support to President Bola Tinubu, said their awareness is to ensure young Nigerians who identify with the movement remain engaged and are carried along in national conversations.
We were in the opposition and we know what experiences we saw, so we can tell you who is grounded. Today, we are confident that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will have a fresh 4 years, and that's what we are doing. The Obedient Network is strong because we were organic. We went to the grassroots, to the students' union, to the support groups, to the villagers, to the artisans, and that's exactly the system we used for the Obedient Movement is what I'm using today.
The organizers say the engagement will continue across Edo and other states, with a focus on voter education and civic participation ahead of future elections. Still ahead on the news at 10. Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise cautions that growing election activities might put economic reforms momentum at risk. Back in a moment. Join us again. Welcome back. Lagos stands as Africa's leading hub of commerce, innovation and creativity. To unlock its immense potentials, Global Africa Investments Limited has convened distinguished CEOs, visionary leaders, investors, and policy makers in Ikeja for the Opportunity Lagos Conference 2026. Organizers say the conference serves as a platform to address the city's pressing urban challenges, foster strategic partnerships, and unlock new investment opportunities.
I'd like to invite another distinguished
a convergence of leaders, innovators, entrepreneurs and policymakers, all united by a common goal, shaping the future of Lagos. Beyond networking and dialogue, participants are exploring practical strategies to drive urban transformation, technological advancement and enterprise development across the state. Speakers at the conference emphasized that sustainable economic growth begins with personal development, purposeful leadership, and self-actualization.
Our focus as a people must be that we must begin the process of self-actualization and realization.
For the convener, every challenge confronting Lagos presents an opportunity for innovation, growth, and shared prosperity.
We are focusing more on those challenges, those bottlenecks. And it's in those bottlenecks that we are effectively getting people to see opportunities.
Leadership strategist Fela Durotoye also underscores the importance of values-driven leadership, noting that integrity, responsibility and service remain essential to build a purposeful and globally competitive society.
Make a positive impact on everyone you meet and everywhere you go. Be a solution provider, not a part of the problem to be solved. Be a role model worthy of emulation. Be your best in all you do, particularly the things you're naturally good at. Do the right thing at all times, regardless of who's doing the wrong thing. Value time and make the best use of it. Care and show respect to all through your words and your actions. Consciously build a great legacy starting now, today and every day. Live a life of integrity and honor. Make your family, your nation and your God proud.
The conversations continue through engaging panel sessions, where industry experts share practical insights on innovation, governance, investment, and the future of business in Lagos. Organizers say the conference is designed to inspire action beyond the event itself. They remain optimistic that the ideas exchanged will translate into meaningful partnerships, bold initiatives, and lasting solutions, further strengthening Lagos's position as a leading hub for business, culture, and sustainable innovation.
The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, says it's intensifying efforts to build the capacity of youths across the region. At the NDDC Day of the Boy-Child celebration in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, the Managing Director, Mr. Samuel Buku, says the initiative reflects the Commission's long-term vision of raising boys who will contribute to the growth of the society.
In a landmark initiative, the NDDC has launched its inaugural Day of the Boy Child. Partnering with dedicated advocates, the Commission aims to cultivate a balanced, inclusive future for youths across the Niger Delta.
Our own director.
Gathered in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, students from across the city are diving deep into meaningful discussions. This event is not just a ceremony, it's a vital ecosystem designed to tackle the unique challenges facing young boys through targeted mentorship and problem solving.
While much attention has rightly been given to advancing opportunities for girls, there is also an urgent need to intentionally nurture, mentor, and guide our boys so that they can grow into responsible men, visionary leaders, supportive fathers, and positive contributors to society.
Experts take the stage, dissecting the complex social pressures of today and offering actionable guidance to steer these young lives towards success.
As a young boy, you must also have courage. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is doing what is right when it looks too difficult to do it. Saying no when somebody is pressuring you to do drugs. Saying no when you are being pressured. Let's go and molest that girl. Saying no when your friends are pressuring you. Let's go to that village so that in 3 months' time we can be driving G-Wagon.
Representing the Managing Director, Samuel Ogboko, the NDDC's Director of Social Services confirmed that this event will become a permanent annual fixture committed to nurturing responsible and future-ready men.
The Boy Child celebration is all about mentoring our boy child to be a good, responsible fathers, responsible leaders in the future.
To NDCC, I want to dearly say thank you for remembering the boys, but let today not only be a celebration, let it also become a promise to every boy that they will never feel forgotten.
Moving forward, the NDDC promises that this celebration will serve as a consistent pipeline for life skills, instilling the positive values necessary for the leaders of tomorrow.
The Taraba State government has signed a memorandum of understanding with tertiary institutions to mainstream bio-entrepreneurship and innovation into their academic programs. The move is to transform tertiary institutions in the state from conventional knowledge centers into vibrant hubs of innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship.
Gathered at the auditorium of the Taraba State University are heads of tertiary institutions across the state to sign a memorandum of understanding with the newly established Taraba State Bio-Entrepreneurship Innovation and Solutions Agency, marking a paradigm shift to mainstream bio-entrepreneurship and innovation into the academic programs of tertiary institutions in Taraba to tackle unemployment and poverty.
The signing and the beginning.
This follows decades of producing graduates with theoretical knowledge but limited practical skills for self-reliance, development and competitiveness with other higher institutions in developed countries.
The future we desire for Taraba State is the future of prosperity, the future of self-reliance, and the future of sustainable development that can be achieved when our knowledge institutions and innovation agencies work together. Today, we have chosen that path for Taraba State.
The MOU aims to strengthen the linkage between academia, industry and government for the rapid development of biosolutions that will improve the lives of residents, promote demand-driven research that addresses the real challenges facing the state in agriculture, health, environment and natural resources management.
This partnership is a direct response to the clarion call by His Excellency for our education system to become more responsive to the economic reality of our time.
Heads of tertiary institutions and the agency are optimistic that the new feat will open new frontiers in research commercialization, skills development, access to funding, and establishment of functional innovation hubs across tertiary institutions.
It is important that we all come together and understand what it is that we are doing, what we want to do, where we are, and where we want to be.
Members to translate knowledge into tangible solutions. It is about producing graduates who are not only employable, but are also employers of labor.
Done with the speeches, heads of various tertiary institutions in the states put pen to paper, signaling commitments to a new era where research, innovation and bio-entrepreneurship becomes central to their institutional mandates to unlock enormous potentials of young people.
From education to health matters now, the federal government has launched a 10 billion naira health intervention aimed at improving healthcare delivery and expanding access to quality maternal and newborn care in Bauchi State. Speaking during the official flag-off ceremony, the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Pate, said the federal government has provided healthcare support to more than 45 million Nigerians through various initiatives. Our correspondent, Hajara Aliu, has this report.
Gentlemen, This initiative
15 tricycle ambulances designed for rural and hard-to-reach communities, 6 conventional ambulances to strengthen emergency referrals, and 17,000 maternity kits for pregnant women are among the items being distributed under the federal government's emergency obstetric and newborn equipment, commodities and delivery kits intervention in Bauchi State.
$9,000 to upgrade infrastructure.
The flag-off ceremony is taking place at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital, Bauchi, and other items being distributed to health facilities across the state include labor and delivery equipment and essential medicines for free.
This equipment is a great milestone, and I'm sure with the distribution of this equipment, we would be able to make a dent in the mortality of mothers and newborns.
Delivering his address, the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Pate, says the 10 billion naira intervention is a critical component of the federal government's ongoing efforts to revitalize Nigeria's healthcare system under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu.
What we are doing here in Bauchi is one of what we have done in 36 states of the country, where we have contributed by the efforts of the federal government in collaboration with states, efforts to improve primary health care, to invest in infrastructure, equip them, provide commodities, build human resources, provide ambulances so that our people will get services. Under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, more than 45 million Nigerians are getting services all over this country every quarter, 45 million visits.
The event also features the graduation of the first cohorts of the National Health Fellows. The graduates were presented with certificates as they were offered automatic employment into the Federal Civil Service.
Please imbibe them, engage them in all your local governments.
Representing Governor Bala Muhammad, the Deputy Governor of Bauchi State reaffirms the state government's commitment to sustaining its partnership with the federal government in strengthening the health sector.
I must also thank the Honorable Minister for the intervention and assure him of our readiness to working closely with the management of the hospital and provide every support required to ensure the continuous functionality and utilization of the equipment for the extended purposes.
Shortly afterwards, Professor Pate officially flags off the distribution by snipping the ceremonial ribbon.
God bless.
He also inaugurates the Clinical Trial Center at the ATBU Teaching Hospital, a facility funded by the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations. Hajara Aliyu, Channels Television News.
Another set of Benin artifacts has been returned to the Palace of the Oba of Benin, this time from the government of Switzerland. Speaking at the ceremony, the head of the Swiss delegation described the move as a demonstration of Switzerland's commitment to strengthening bilateral relations with Nigeria.
Another set of Benin artifacts returned home to the Palace of the Oba of Benin.
I'm good, how are you? Very nice to see you.
The latest set of artifacts are to be formally presented to the Oba of Benin in the presence of delegations from the Swiss government, Swiss museums, the federal government, traditional rulers and friends of the palace, including the Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II.
Now, after almost 130 years, at least these 18 objects have come home to where they belong, here.
The Swiss government says the exercise is in fulfillment of an agreement reached between the two countries.
This is the first step of, hopefully, Your Royal Majesty, the first step of many to come, and I'm sure that this is an absolute good sign of a good cooperation between Switzerland and Nigeria.
The Director General of the National Commission for Museums and Monuments, Lubule Holloway, assures the Benin monarch of his direct involvement in future restitutions of stolen Benin artifacts.
It is our wish, the National Commission for Museums and Monuments, to continue to work and earn the trust of His Royal Majesty, to ensure that in our dealings with foreign governments
in foreign museums, we commit here openly in front of everyone to always ensure His Royal Majesty is carried along.
The artifacts are formally presented to Omonoba Neduku Apolokolo Ewa II, the Oba of Benin. Commending the Swiss government for the gesture, Oba Ewa II also addressed the controversy surrounding the Museum of West African Art, MOA. According to him, the ownership issue had been resolved and the facility should revert to its original name, the Benin Royal Museum.
We welcome renewed dialogue with all stakeholders to realize the Benin Royal Museum as originally envisioned. Palace-led, globally partnered and owned by the people of Benin. The name matters because history matters. The world recognizes it as the Benin Royal Museum and must remain so.
The return of the artifacts represents another major step in the restitution of Benin's cultural heritage, reinforcing growing international support for returning looted treasures to their rightful home.
The Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, CPPE, says Nigeria's transition into the pre-election period may slow the implementation of key economic reforms despite improving macroeconomic conditions. According to the policy think tank, exchange rate stability, higher oil production, and even stronger financial markets have boosted the economy. However, growing political activities may distract policy execution. The CPPE is urging the government to sustain reform efforts, preserve exchange rate stability, improve budget implementation, and accelerate infrastructure development to support growth and maintain investor confidence. A new phase for African trade is taking shape as the African Export-Import Bank, Afrexim, and the Nigeria Customs Service move their partnership from policy to funding, with a focus on making the African Continental Free Trade Area work. Speaking at a meeting in the nation's capital, Abuja, the president of the African Export and Import Bank, Mr. George Elombi, says the partnership with the Nigerian Customs Service rests on a singular conviction: that's Africa's prosperity built on trade.
We have the resources. You have the will. So it is also not a very complex exercise where we need external expertise. The expertise is in here. We have come to say thank you for the spirit which we see in this house and the spirit which your DG projects out there about what difference we must make in our continent.
While the customs boss, Mr. Adewale Adeni, says the service will continue to leverage on its partnership to achieve success in its policy implementations.
We look at your payment system that you have brought very, very groundbreaking and game-changing initiatives through the PAPs, and we see this as helping to bridge existing gaps that we have observed, in intra-African trade. You see the signing up of so many Nigerian banks into this payment system. We see it, gaining traction across all African countries, and we want to believe that in the next few years, the story of intra-African trade will change for the better.
Up in the world of sports, Kelly Egiga has details.
Many thanks, Melinda. Cheering news for the continent. Morocco ended co-host Canada's World Cup dreams at the last 16 stage
On Saturday, that's today, as the 2022 semi-finalists ran out 3-0 victors in Houston, Canada, where the clear underdogs and their fans were outnumbered by Morocco supporters at the air-conditioned Houston Stadium. The second half, as the Dean Unuhai double followed by Soufenia Rahimi's late third sealed Morocco's quarter-final berth next week against either France or Paraguay, who are currently in action. With the atmosphere in Accra turned sober, supporters watched Ghana's World Cup aspirations vanish following a narrow 1-0 defeat to Colombia. The loss confirmed Colombia's advancement to the round of 16, while the Black Stars of Ghana were eliminated from the tournament, leaving the local crowd in stunned silence as the final whistle blew. Now, many fans expressed deep frustration and disappointment regarding the team's performance throughout the match.
Because we expected more. Against England, we played well. I mean, Colombia, we expected that Colombia is a fast team, but we didn't expect that they would get an early goal, and Charlie, the boys disappoint us. But I mean, as football fans, we just move. We just wait for another 4 years and we move, yeah.
Charlie, I'm really sad today, yeah. To actually finish a game around 3:30 with no enjoyment, like, it's very sad, Charlie.
Let's head to the tennis courts, where Germany's Alexander Zverev delivered a commanding serving performance to reach the 4th round at Wimbledon. The second seed overcame a spirited challenge from Marcos Giron for a 6-2, 7-6, 6-4 victory at the major grass major. Zverev will face 13th seed Julia Hecker in the next round of the competition. In the female category, reigning champion Iga Swiatek has been dumped out of the competition in the 3rd round as an inspired Alexandra Iela created more history for the Philippines with a straight sets victory on center court. Iela edged a dramatic 84th minute first set before powering to a 7-6, 6-2 victory over a stunned Swiatek on center court to reach the last 16. It is the 6th-time Grand Slam champion Swiatek's earliest exit from a major tournament.
A dramatic stage for an extraordinary opening set, which goes the way of... Oh, yeah. Forehand's gone again.
The meantime, 23-time Grand Slam champion Serena Williams' Wimbledon comeback is over after the American legend pulled out of the doubles due to a knee injury. Serena and her sister Venus were due to play in the first round today, but she announced just hours before the match that her knee had not healed enough to play. She suffered the injury during her defeat against Australia's Maya Joint in the first round of the Wimbledon singles on Tuesday. That was her first singles match since 2022 US Open after 4 years in retirement. Big disappointment for fans of the sports who were willing and hoping to see her back on the court. That's Sports News Tonight. I am Kelly Egiga. Melinda, back to you.
Many thanks, Kelly. On the international scene, Americans have been trying to keep cool while celebrating their country's 250th birthday amid the scorching heat. Nationwide events, including a series of concerts and fireworks display, have been cancelled due to the extreme weather conditions. Temperatures have been climbing across the eastern United States, with Washington, D.C. reaching 38 degrees Celsius. It's even hotter in Baltimore, where the thermometer has hit 104 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 40 degrees Celsius. On Truth Social Media, President Donald Trump directly addressed the intense weather conditions that the U.S. Capitol is experiencing, saying despite the heat, which isn't as bad as predicted, the crowds in D.C. are incredible, and the love for the country has never been stronger. Organizers say military flyovers will take place over the Capitol every hour, and the president's new Air Force One will feature in one of the formations. And the main news again. Worshippers abducted during a church service in Eda Onion of Ekiti State have regained their freedom after more than 2 months in captivity. Police in Edo State have arrested 45 suspects and rescued 38 abducted victims as part of sustained operations targeting criminal elements. And that's the news at 10 tonight. I'm Melinda Kimlami on behalf of the team. Good night.